So this is what we are making, a very simple nav containing our logo, our menu with nav over and a button by the side with over. So this is what we are designing today. So you're welcome to today's class. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, you're starting with your HTML documents. It's going to be a short video. You're starting with your HTML documents, and inside your HTML documents is where you're having your nav inside your body tag. So your body tag is starting with what? Let's start with a container of div class container, right? So inside our container will be carrying our nav. Our container is carrying our nav, and inside our nav is carrying our H2 that represents a logo, right? And an UL that represents a list tag of home, about, service, and concerts. Then you close it. Always remember to close your tag, right? Always remember to close your tag. So after our UL, we then have our button this way. Button, okay. Button that says get started, right? So inside our button, we have get started. Now let's continue. Let's go style. So we have our style tag, a style tag inside our heading, inside our head. Don't write it in your body. You write it in your head. Sorry. Style tag. Open and close style tag. Close it immediately. Don't know what's wrong with my AI. Close it immediately. Then the first thing you have on your code is what? A star. You have a star that is canceling, that is removing your styling by default. That is your margin, your padding, your box sizing on your web browser. So it helps remove it. Then you have your first container to style, which is your what? You have your container to style, which is your what? Your div class container. So that's the first styling on your CSS. So now we want to have a position, of course, of relative, a width of 100% and a height of 100 VH, because that is the container. It's more like a parent, you understand? So it is holding every other code together. So the height has to be 100 VH. And also, give it a background color. Give the background color of, let's say, ash. That's EEE. So now, this is what we have on our code. We have this, right? So we have this background and we have our stuff on it, our text on it. So the next thing we're styling is what? Our nav. That is what we are working on. We're working on the nav. The nav is not a class, don't forget. So we cannot have it a dot on it. So we have a position of what? Relative. Position of relative. Hope I'm not muted. Okay. Position of relative, then position of relative, a width of 100%. So it covers up. Then a height of 8 pixel, a background color of white. Now let's see what we have. Okay, I've opened it before. So we have a background, right, of this nav. Okay. So the next thing we're working on, we want to make this logo, home, and get started stay side by side, first of all. So I want to call it a display flex, right? So it goes 1, 2, 3. So we have three other tags inside our nav. So this one has its own space. This one should have its own space. This one should also have its own space. Do you understand? So Then I'll go give it what it justify content space between. Now, see what space between does on the code. It gives it space in between 1, 2. So there's space in between your code. So now if you look at it again, it is too close to the edge of our width of our screen. So what we'll do is we're going to give it a padding. We give it a padding of what? 0 pixel, 100 pixel. So it stays and it goes away from it leaves the edges and stays somewhere, it comes outside. So you can see that it's getting organized. You do it step by step. Remember, coding is a step-by-step process, right? You don't rush. So now, how do we make this text come to the middle? This text. So that is the work of align item center. Align item center brings our work to the center this way. Can you see that? So, what else? Okay, let's say we are done. I don't like the height is too much. So go and reduce the height to, let's say, 60. It's fine. 60 is fine. It's not supposed to be too high. So now let's say we are done with this. Let's go to our next tag. The next tag on our nav is what? Our H2. This is it. H2. Right. Now let's start our H2. Our H2 has a position, of course, of relative and a color of what? 0. So now let's capitalize the words. Text transform, uppercase. Can you see that? So you can make it bold. Okay, that's fine. Letter spacing, give space in between your letters. So now let's work on the boldness. That are the font weights, font size, font weights, 700 pixel. You can see, give the unique look. Then let's go to our UL. You can see our UL is standing on top of each other. So we apply a display flex to it. Go to your UL. We have UL. Make sure you're writing a small letter on your ULs and CSS. UL, position of flex. Don't call your width. Don't call your width. Don't call your height. Leave it like that. So you just take position the way it is. So you can see that it has flexed, right? It is no longer on each other. That's the beauty of your display flex. So your display flex makes it what's so justify content center. Okay, let's not use this first. So since we already align it from the center on your nav, on the nav. So what we're looking at is separating these 4 texts. How do we separate these 4 texts? We can easily call it from here. Let's see if it works. We call gap. Call your gap. Gap of 20 pixels. If gap of 10 pixels is small, you can increase it. Gap of 30 pixels, so it separated itself. So the gap is 30, 30, 30. So now if you see, if I call, how do I remove my li, my text? How do I remove my underline and my text to white? Let's change our text to the color we want it. Let's change the text to white and black. So you call your li, they call it, give it a list style. So list style was able to remove the dots. Look at it, list style was able to remove the dots from your work. The next thing is what? Next thing is, let's call the A tag. So every A tag represented on our code will take this position. Position of relative, text none, decoration of none, text decoration of none. Can you see that? So the text decoration of none, it means the underline and the text are now what we want it to be. So the text decoration of none, remove the words underline, then the color, change it, then the text. Let's remove the text from here. We don't want every A tag on our code to have, that big text. So I can come up with the text here. reduce it to, let's say, 14. 18 is too much. Can you see that? So don't make it too big. Make your work so beautiful. Or let's say 15, something like this. So can you see that? So now let's move to our button. We're almost done. Let's move to our button. Button of position of relative. So this is what we have: position of relative, padding of 10 pixel, background of black. Now let's change this black background to purple. Purple. Change the background to purple. Okay, let's use this purple. Okay, so get started. Get started, and we have our text font size to be 15 as well. You can maintain same font size. 15 pixel. Is it not too big? 14 pixel. Okay. It's okay. So now let's give it some shape at the edges like this. Curve it. So that's why we'll now go and use what? Border radius of 25. So it goes round like this. It goes round like this. So now let's add the beauty to it. A beauty of over. Now see what over does on your code. Over will be able to change the background color. When you call button over, then change the background. What are you overing? Whenever you over on it, what happens? When you over on it, what happens? Now let's see. When you over on it, the background changes this way. So can you see that? The background changes this way. Okay. So let's do that over. Let's apply that over to our airline. Now, when you touch your airline over, you can see, don't leave space when you're typing your over. Don't leave space when you're typing your over. Don't leave space like this. It's wrong. So you use li dots over. So this is what we have. When I come to touch it, okay, color. So you have to apply the A tag in it. So that is it. Change it to purple. When I touch it, so this is what I get. I get an altar. So we'll add something that is called transition. Transition of 0.5. So I can try to add a margin, a border bottom. Okay, sorry, I'll add it to mine. I'll add it here. So that is how it works. So I would advise you watch it first before you try it. It's very simple. Don't rush yourself, just take your time. So this is what we have. Can you see that? Can you see that? So this is just for beginner. You get to get your design better when you start practicing on it. So this is just a way of positioning our logo, menu, and button art on our website. All right, so do that and let me see your results. Bye.